Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Timwe Presents. Today we've decided to look at a game called Replicube. Now, a Replicube, as it says here, is about generating 3D objects made up of tiny little cubes. Not that tiny, but we'll see. And with me here to enjoy this game with me is my good friend Sean. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so what I've already seen from the promo on the Steam Workshop, or the Steam store page, is that we're gonna be doing programming to replicate these cube-based shapes, and I believe that the programming language we're using is Lua. So I'm just quickly gonna press next. The object area is divided up into a grid of these cubes, which are called voxels. That's right, that's the 3D version of pixels. In this example, it's 5 by 5 by 5. I hope there will be later levels with more than that, because otherwise it's going to be a bit very easy. A voxel can either be empty or filled in with a color from the palette. And there are 16 colors, but interestingly not the standard 16 colors from, good old DOS times, but that's okay. I mean, these colors are more beautiful anyway. So let's click next. To create objects, you will write code to decide the value for each voxel. Here is perhaps the simplest possible program. It simply returns a number and all of the voxels become that color. Okay, this is not 5 by 5 by 5 anymore, so I can hope that the levels will be different sizes. Right, so return 8 gives you color 8 and 1 is white. Okay, cool. But wait, if my code only returns a single number, how can I possibly make complex objects? Good question. You do programming, right? Your code is not only run one time, actually your code is run separately for every voxel in the object area. So it's wrapped in a for loop, is what they're saying, right? In this example, your code is run 27 times, once for each voxel. That makes sense. Each voxel can be identified by its X, Y, and Z location. I assume that those are passed in as values. When your code is run, special variables X, Y, and Z are preset with the location of the current voxel. So really, your code is the answer to the question, what is the value of the voxel at X, Y, Z? That makes perfect sense. They forgot to put a space after question. I just noticed those things. Here is a slightly more complex example. You can see that the code returns different values depending on X, Y, and Z. If X equals 0, which is the, X is probably this axis, the red axis. So this is the plane where X is equal to 0, so we get color 7 indeed, that is what's happening. And then Y is probably the vertical axis, which means that the green area, and indeed number 10 is green, so I understand this. So we have X going to the right, Y going up, and Z going towards us. Alright, so we're done with the quote-unquote tutorial. To do, check email. Can I edit this? Oh wow. Okay, email, electronic inbox. This is an entire desktop UI. I kind of want this to be my operating system because this feels super nostalgic. Can I? Ooh, minimize, maximize. Alright, well, let's read the subjects. Thank you for registering your Replicube terminal. Please find the attached tutorial project to get you started. Okay. Files manager. Okay. Email attachment, okay, right. Sure, let's make this a little, oh, okay, that's all there is. Sure. Alright, the very basics, let's get going. So this is a comment, this is indeed Lua syntax. Your job is to write code to generate an object that matches the one in this corner here. Your code should return the color you want each voxel to be, which in this case is color 7. Oh, you can use names. Can I? I see. Okay, so that is actually color red. I personally see that as more pinkish, but there we go. That seems to work. You can use names, try modifying the cube below. Let me just see what the names are. White, gray, black. That makes sense. Peach. Okay. That is pink, purple, red, orange, yellow, light green and green. Okay. Dark blue, blue, light blue. Oh, they could have called that cornflower. Come on. Brown and dark brown. Interesting. I see. Okay, I thought that light green had a space in it, but it doesn't. It's just because the T has this overhang that it looks like a space. In other words, the font isn't kerned. Auto run code as I type. Yes, I'm okay with that. Alright, submit. The very basics. Log into Cube. No, I do not want to view other people's scores. Thank you. Continue to... No, continue... No, I want to move on to the next... Aww. There should just be a button to just go move on to the next. Okay, remember you're trying to match this. Okay, so if... Oh, why is it already giving me this? Okay, so... 3. Okay, so it should be 0, and then the light green should instead be peach. No, that is not peach. Is it orange? It is orange, okay. These colors don't quite match what I consider those color names to reference, but that's okay. In comparison, you can use many different conditions to compare numbers. Ah, okay, so in Lua, not equals is not exclamation point equals is tilde equals. I need to remember that. So, let's see, we want this. So I want if y is less than 1, less than 2, whoops, less than... No, if it's less than 0, no, if it's less than -1, then I want green. And if it's greater than 1, then I want red. Okay, the yellow was already the default. Awesome. Next. I have to click 3 times to get to the next level. They really should just put a next button there. Okay, so returning 0 or empty will make the voxel into empty space. Okay, so I want to make that empty, and I want this to say 3. No, I want this to say 1. Okay. I kind of feel that the tutorial is helping me a little bit too much. No, that should be a 0. Yes, and that should also be a 0. Oh. Okay, this is demonstrating that you can get this rainbow effect by using the y-coordinate as a color index. But I kind of feel that it should have had me do that. Okay, so if x is... Okay, so we want this. Okay, so we want... Is there a, like, dot between? No, you have to use and. Okay, fine. So let's see, okay, so the x-coordinate, can I rotate this? Yes. Okay, so the x-coordinate, wait, that is not, does the x-coordinate go, oh, this is the x-coordinate, okay, I was gonna say, okay, so we want x to be between 1 and 3. So if x is greater or equal to 3 and x is 1 and 3, and also, the z-coordinate is greater or equal to 1 and... You know what, since that is the edge of the thing, I don't even need to say that because it's always going to be less than or equal to 3. So if that is the case, and also y is less than or equal to 1, then return red, else return empty. It is not auto-running, so there is an error. Lua error syntax error line 4. Yeah. Is that not allowed?
I mean,
oh,
you have...
Oh, my laugh. Thank you. There you go. Okay, still an error. Then, okay. Then. Still an error. End expected. Bingo. So why does this not count as solved? Oh, because red is not the correct color. It wants pink, doesn't it? Yeah, there you go. Alright. 3x3 grid. Oh, that is cool. Okay. It's using the absolute value, which is not what I would have done. I would have done an OR, but this is better. So that is the case, or abs of y is equal to 2. Then we get this, and then we need the z to be between, yeah, or abs of z is less than 2. And then we need to take care of operator precedence. Okay. Remember, you need to close each if-then with an end. Try running the code and check the error message for a hint what's wrong. Well, I already did that in the previous thing. So, let's take a look at this. Oh, I see. It wants me to just learn that doing this will fix it. Okay, but then there is another thing, which is that the dark blue should be red. Oh, there's no dark blue here. Is that gray? It's gray. Alright, let's make that red. Bingo. Simple sushi, huh? Okay, this is not really telling me what the cubes are on the inside. Documentation, overview, geometry, code, scoring. I don't really care about scoring. Ah, okay. So I suppose if I wanted to optimize the number of tokens later, I could try to code golf this. But code golf counts in characters, right? So what this is saying is that if you put spaces between the 11 and the minus sign, it doesn't matter because the spaces are not tokens. Okay, I see. So I guess what I want to know for this is whether this interface allows me to see inside. Okay, it says 11 everywhere. It says 1 and 7 here. No, it says 11 for the outside. Yeah, okay, let's just try this, okay? So, we don't care about the z-axis. So, delete that. If x equals 0, then return red end. Red. There you go. If abs of x is less than 2, then return white end. Else we return green. Right, so that was the x, but now we need the y as well. So if x equals 0 and y equals 0, and abs of y is less than 2. That should be it. Okay, so it is actually white and red on the inside, but it kind of makes me wonder, what if I hadn't done that? What if I had made the inside all green? Would it still accept this as correct? Because you can't tell just by looking at it. You know what I mean? Okay, so now we have that. Okay, I can at least see the whole thing this time. So let's see. Okay, so what I want is, I'm just gonna write this from scratch. If abs of x is equal to 3, or abs of z is equal to 3, I don't need the parentheses, or y is equal to negative 3. Then return, what color is that? Brown, I guess. So 15. End. Oh, I don't even need to return empty. So empty is a default value. If it just returns nothing, then it's empty. Okay, got it. Cool. Quadrants. Ooh. Not quite, what's the word? Balanced quadrants. So, let's see. We want the x-coordinate here. So, you can put condition inside other condition. I'm not going to do that. Actually, I am going to do that. Yes, I am going to do that. So, if y is greater than 0, then if x is greater than 0, then green else exists. Okay. Green else, what is that? That is orange. Else, oh yeah, sorry, it should say return. Return orange. Else, and now we want this bottom part where we need to look at the z, right? If z is less than 0, then return blue. Else return, no. I don't really care what the colors are called. Okay, there's an error. Okay. Right. Okay, so apparently it still needs an end before the else. Whoops. I wanted to press enter there. So, end, else. No, I do need an end here because this is part of this else block. Okay, so what is wrong this time? There is an end missing here. That's what's wrong. No? Okay, what's the error? Let's see. Line 14. This one here. Okay, what am I doing wrong? If, then return green end. Else. Okay, if I do this, it should... Aha, it doesn't complain about the else here. So I was wrong about needing an end before an else. Okay. So we did implement something, but it doesn't match it. It doesn't match it because it's actually the Z coordinate I need to check here. And that is still wrong. Because, okay, so first of all, that is 7 and that is blue. And secondly, there you go. Okay. Variable outcomes. Okay, you can create your own variables. Color equals pink, and then, right, and then return color. Okay. Colo. Here's another example. The error when you use this code says attempt to perform arithmetic on a nil value, which is kind of confusing. It's because colo doesn't exist. Okay, so any variable name that isn't defined will default to a nil value. So, I don't think I'm gonna need variables for this. I'm just going to say that if z is equal to 0, then return black end. So that gives me that. And then I'm going to say if x is equal to y, that gives me the up diagonal. If x is equal to y, then... You know, I actually wonder whether... code. I actually wonder whether Lua has a conditional expression, in other words, a, you know, question mark colon equivalent. Let's see, operators. It doesn't list a conditional operator. Okay, bitwise XOR is tilde. Okay. Helpful functions. Clamp, in range. Okay. Defining a function. Oh, in range. Oh, wait. Oh, I see. In range is already... in range exists. Okay. Good to know. So these are the functions. This creates 2 boxes of difference. Yeah, okay. Advanced topics, base math table. Okay, I assume that later courses will... Ooh. Okay, so you can convert... Okay. Okay, so you can use and or to simulate a question mark colon. So why don't we do that? Return x equals y and pink. That is pink, right? Pink. Or yellow. So if I just say return that, then it's this. Because I'm stupid. So we want, let's see, if x equals y, then return. So we want pink if z is less than 0. Z less than 0 or pink and purple. End. Thank you. Okay. So why is it giving me white there? Because it should be and first and then or. Okay. Now they're the wrong way around. So that should be purple and that should be pink. Right, because if z less than 0 is true, then it'll do this one. Wait, I see, it's because the z coordinate actually goes to the left. Okay, that confused me. Okay, and then if x is equal to negative y, then we need to return, let's see, z less than 0 and green or yellow end. There you go. So, why is it not solved? Am I blind? Am I not seeing the difference? Show comparison. Okay, I just used the wrong green. No? Oh, okay. I see. There you go. Done. Okay. So I think from now on, I'm going to try and use the and or syntax as much as possible and try to avoid the ifs, because then I can avoid then, return, and end, which will save some tokens. Okay, submit. Go. Okay, that was the entire first thing. Aha, new email, there you go. Welcome to the community. Okay, intro challenges 1, staircase. Alright, let's go. This might take some thinking. No, it doesn't. We just need to check whether x is equal to negative y. What? Oh. Okay. I was gonna use and or to specify the colors, but apparently it wanted color 1 and color 0, or 0 is empty, so that worked. Diagonal line. Ah, okay. So now we want x equal to y and y equals z. Right. And green. Okay. This is weird, using and or for question mark colon. Okay. So there are 3 diagonals. So I think we want abs x equals abs y. And abs y equals abs z. And 3. Okay, let's go through these a little faster now. Hello modulo. Okay, yeah, that's just, we want even x coordinates, so return x modulo 2. Not x modulo 2. Checkerboard. Okay, so, we definitely need y to be equal to 0. And so now we want x plus z modulo 2 and 3 or 1. Okay, that didn't work. So this is correct. I am getting... Oh, I'm doing the and or wrong again, aren't I? So if I do and black, everything's black. So I want or white and black. No? Okay, where am I doing wrong? Let's see. X plus z modulo 2 is definitely either 0 or 1. Ah, is it operator precedence again? Oops. So if I do this and then and white or black. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Let's see. Sean, what am I doing wrong?
I have no idea.
So x plus z modulo 2 is definitely correct, right? If I do this, I get the pixels that I want to be black, right? So if this is 1, then I should be able to say and black. And now all of them are black. Why is that? And now none of them are black. Okay, is it because and or are bitwise? No, but this is a 0 or a 1. Okay, this is weird. Give me the documentation for this again. Oh, there you go. So it's condition and the true value or the other value. So shouldn't this do it? Okay, do you see the error?
I'm not really familiar with the word.
Yeah, that is implicit. Okay, let's see if anyone in the chat... Ooh, this game looks cool. Not the right green. Ah, that was when I confused the light and dark green. Alright. So, let's write it with an if then, right? So, if x plus z modulo 2 No, I need to say if y equals 0, then return empty end. Else return this. If y is not equal to 0. There you go. Okay, so there's something wrong with the and or, clearly, right? Otherwise, this would be working. So, if that is the case, then return black, else return white end. Okay, now I'm getting very confused. Equals 0? Okay. Okay, so why did that not work? Because modulo 2 is supposed to give you a 0 or a 1, but apparently the and or... Oh, okay, maybe that's why. Wait, no. I was about to say that it's because maybe the and the or will use bitwise and or if you apply to an integer, but if you do the equals, it converts it to a boolean, and that's when it turns into a question mark colon equivalent. So let me see if I can write this the way that it should be, right? So return y equals 0, and so if y is in fact equal to 0, then I want x plus z modulo 2 and white or black. And I get this again. Yeah, okay. Equals, not equals 0. Okay, it should be equal 0. Okay, so that works. I wonder if I can leave out these parentheses. No, I cannot. Okay. I wonder if there are some settings that I can set here. Because mechanical keyboard. I don't know. I don't know what that refers to. What I'm looking for is code editor, autocomplete enabled, brace thank you. Let's disable that. That is what I hate. And word wrap I do want enabled so I can write things in longer lines. Okay. I think that is cool. Add sticky note, show all stickies, device menu, show tutorial, no. Okay. So, next. Alright, angled rainbow. Colors are just numbers, yes indeed. We want the 0 line to be 10. So we want 10 plus x plus y. And then we want that only where z equals. So if z equals 0, then this. Bingo. Wooden table. Okay, now it gets interesting. Now we're starting to create objects. Cool. So, cute table. We want, so first of all, if y equals 1, we want that, or, open parenthesis, abs of z equals 2, well, actually, we want y greater 1 and then we want, no, less than 1. The y coordinate is backwards from what it normally is. Okay, x, so we want that, and abs of x equals 2. And then we want all of that and brown. Bingo. Ooh, more emails? Thank you. Alice Creations. Hi, it was nice to meet you at the Retro Tech meetup. I haven't met anyone new who knows about Replicube in a while. I know lots of people are super into the leaderboards and optimization, but I like making fun, cute objects with it. Okay, now that I've been streaming for a while, can you guys in the chat confirm if the loudness balance between the game and my voice is acceptable? I'm often not sure if maybe I should turn down the game a bit. Sean, what do you think?
Why?
Oh wait, you weren't looking at the stream, are you? You're listening to me through Discord.
Yeah, I am.
The music is a tad bit too loud. Okay, I'm glad you said that, because I also thought that was a bit loud. So I'm gonna turn it down now. Interface sounds can stay what they are. Alright, let's go here. Strawberry. I didn't read that quickly enough, and now it doesn't say anywhere on the screen what the name of that level was. Okay, so we want this strawberry cake, Pop-Tart, whatever, I don't know. So we want return abs of z less than 2. And let's see. So if y equals -3, then we want brown. Or then we want x equals -3, or x or y equals 3. Yes. Or then we want y equals 0 and pink. That's not the right color. We want this one here, peach. Or red. Bingo. How do you like that short line of code? Let me see if these parentheses are required. Yes, they are required. That makes sense. Okay, submit. Basic hourglass. Okay. So what we want is we want y to be greater than x and negative y greater than x. Okay, less than x, and then maybe no. If I do or, then I get too much of that. Okay. I think I want abs of y greater than abs of x. Okay, perfect. There we go. And then that should be 9. Tiny duck. Ooh. Now that is going to require a lot of code. It's a bit sudden, this increase in complexity. Okay, let's see. So, return. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to do it in order of... Wait a sec. Ah! Okay, you can be kind of clever here by saying... Okay, so I'm going to do this plus shape here first, which is the same as saying that abs of y plus x is less than 2. That is not what I meant. Is it times? Not quite. Less than 1? No. Okay, of course, if you times by 0, you always get 0. So, what I want is I want the Manhattan distance or something. Oh gosh. Okay, so that is that. And that is... What am I looking for? X... So you can get a circle by saying x squared plus y squared is less than some... You know what, I'm just for the fun of it, why don't I do this for now, just to show you that you can easily draw a circle like this. And it doesn't work. So what... Ah, there you go. Okay, so that is a tiny little circle. That is a slightly bigger circle. Still looking like a cube. Okay. So I guess I can actually use this. That actually does what I want. But I'm still confused why the abs didn't work. Let me just check. Maybe I need to do this. Okay, that is what I wanted. Perfect. Okay, so if that is the case, then I want to check if y is less than 0. And if so, we want that to be 12. Else 16. Okay. I think 16 is wrong. I think that should be 13. Wait, what? No, 16 is right. What is this color here? Is it... It doesn't highlight the color when I hover over it. It does highlight the... Oh, 15. Okay, so that 16 should be 15, but... Is it... Okay, what's going on here? That thing on the bottom of the duck is none of the colors. Is it 13? It looks a bit like 13. Is this just me, or am I just not seeing it? Oh, it's 2.
2.
It's okay. There you go. Okay, now this is going. This is too long. We need to put that in between z being 1 to -2. Right. So and z less than 2 and z greater than -3. Okay. So that is something. But now there are 2 voxels here that want to be green. So I should do that first. And I'm not gonna bother making it super minimal now because this is quite complex. So let's see. If z equals 1 and x equals 0 and y in range. So if y is in the range 0 to 3, then return 11. Okay, there we have that. Wait, I keep forgetting that's free. I keep forgetting that I don't need to in-range something if, you know, if the cube ends there anyway. So if that is the case, then that. So if z equals 2 and y equals 2 and x equals 0, then return 9. Okay, so that's the beak. So now I want to put in the legs. So if abs of x equals 1 and y less than 0 and... No, y needs to be between, well, actually not 0, between -1 and -2. -1, -2. And so that was x and y. So the z-axis, which is the blue one, needs to be -1. Then return the color of the legs, which I assume is 8. So that didn't work. So if abs of x equals 1, okay, that's correct. Okay, and z equals -1. That is also correct. So the in range is the issue. -2, -1. Okay, so the in range doesn't tolerate if you put the upper bound first. Stairwell. Ooh. Oh, that looks cool. Oh, that's very cool. So let's see. I want to return. So if the z is 0, then we want 7. Or, open parenthesis, if x is equal to y and z is positive, then I want 13. No, that is not 13. It's 2 again. Okay, and then here, let's see. Okay, I'm going to write this a very strange way. Okay, so if z, if z is greater than 0, right, then I want to look at y. Else, I want to look at -y. And that worked. How amazingly short is that? Little chair. Chairs and tables are fun because they're so symmetrical. Look for symmetry and use abs. I've been doing that the whole time. So I want abs of x to be 1. And abs of z to be 1. And I want y to be less than or equal to 2. Okay. So now I need to cut off these here. So if z is... Okay, so let's try this. If z equals 1, then we want y to be less than 0, right? Oops. If that is the case, or z equals -1 and y is less than 3. So we want all of that and abs of x equals 1. Bingo. So that's that. And now we need the area to sit on, which is at y -1. Y -1. Okay, so I want all of this, or y equal to -1 and in range x. No, I can just say abs x less than or equal to 1 and abs z less than or equal to 1. Okay, that's that. And then I need that 1 pixel there, which is at y equals 2 and x equals 0 and z equals 1. Right, so that should be z equals -1. Okay, and 8. Ooh. Okay. Open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Strawberry. Ooh. This time I went for a blocky strawberry notes. Remember, you can peek inside objects by dragging the red, green, and blue arrowheads. Oh. Okay. Okay. So that's kind of important. So, let's see, we have that shape. Oh wow, this is gonna be difficult. There's probably a formula for this, which I'm not immediately seeing. That's kind of mean. They probably came up with some formula and now you have to just find that formula. Also, why is there already some emails? Oh my gosh. I think I want to finish this section first. Thank you. So, I'm going to do this the roundabout way. So, let's see. If we're on the bottom layer, which means y equals -2, then return x equals 1 and z, why can I not see the z? There is the z axis, and z equals 1, or x equals 0 and z equals -1. So if that is the case, then we want 4, else 7, end. Okay, so that's the first layer. And then I want this layer. Wait a second. I don't need to repeat the and 4 or 7. So I'm just going to say return y equals to and all of this. Or y equals -1 and. Okay, now I need to create this shape. So either x equals -1 or x and z form this 3x3, which is the same as saying abs x plus abs z is equal to 2. No, 1. No. I did have this thing before, didn't I? So I think I'm gonna try this and see if that works. Less than, so hang on, so at this point it would be 2. So I'm gonna make it less than 2 and see if that gives me what I want. So if that is the case, or that is the case, so open parenthesis this and then close parenthesis and 4 or 7. Okay, not quite what I wanted. Let's make that less than 3. Okay, that works. Next layer. The next layer looks like this. Okay, or y equals 0, and I can copy all of this and just instead of x equals -1, this is z equals 0. Close parenthesis. Yeah. And then we go up one more. So I'm probably repeating this a lot. So yeah, but I can't use that in every layer, so for now I'm not trying to make it minimal, so why don't we just say the peach part is that. So let's just say P. Okay, does that still work? Yes, it's still working, good. So now I want y equals 1 and x equals 1 or P, or this. Oh, I see, I can't do that yet, because on the top layer I need, so if abs of x plus abs of z is less than or equal to 2, then I want green. Oh, and I want that at y coordinate plus 2. So if y equals 2 and bingo. I'm fairly confident that this can definitely be reduced in size. In fact, I wonder how Lua does arrays. I'm wondering if I can, let's see, defining variables, blah blah blah, helpful functions, defining a function, I don't want a function. Advanced topics, table, most of the functions are allowed, but they have been added to the global table, so you can't use, okay, instead use the function to sort, insert. Okay, that doesn't tell me how to write an array. I kind of want to try this. Would you be too upset if I tried that? I'm going to use a browser and look for arrays in Lua and see. Ah, okay, so you can do this. Ah, you can just do that in curly brackets. So, let me make my array equal to. So, at y equals -2, I want this condition. And then at y equals -1, I want this condition. And then I want this condition. And then I want this condition. Okay, and for all of those cases, I want it to be pink. And it's only on the top that I want it to be... okay, so if I do this... How do I index into that? Can I just use the square bracket? So square bracket y plus 3. Right, because the lowest y coordinate is -2, so if I go +3, it'll start counting at 1. So, return that. There's an error. End expected to close function at line 0. Line 0? I'm confused. Okay. Error. Line 9. End expected to close function at line 0. Okay. So, what was the syntax? It was like this, wasn't it? Ooh, that is completely different. Actually, no, it's not. Okay, this is the pink part. Okay. So, I need to return this. Or, if that is the case, then I want 4, else 7. Okay, so that worked. So now the question is, why can't I inline the A? Like, if I do this, can I put that can I not put that here? That is an error. End expected to close function at line 0 near open square bracket. Okay, so that is a bug in the Lua parser. I've heard of things like this before, but yeah, that is extremely buggy. I would not enjoy golfing in this if it has these kinds of restrictions that normal programming languages, that it doesn't allow things that normal programming languages allow. And yes, by normal, I mean that Lua is not normal. Right, unlock your creativity. Thank you for showing so much interest in Replicube. In order to create your own objects, you need to activate the Voxel app in free edit mode. I have attached a script that should unlock it for you. This one here. Okay, so I can just create my own things there, but another batch for you. Okay, let's start with this. Doggo. Ooh. Hawkeye. Now, this is a sweet dog, you might say. Let's see. Probably the cutest animal I've made, so I know. It's lots of x-axis symmetry. You can use max to make boxes and frame shapes. Also, adding coordinates usually makes a diagonal line. Well, we already knew about that. Hawkeye. So, why don't I start by... I'm gonna start with the light brown parts. So, return. Let's see. So, if gosh, this is hard to conceptualize. Okay, so if x is between negative and 1 and 1, and zoom out a bit, and z is 3. So if z is 3 and in range x negative 1, 1, and y equals 1. Okay, so that's the snout. Or then we want... Oh, there is more brown inside, isn't there? Okay. Okay, everything else is good. So, this 1 pixel here, as well as the one above it. Sorry, I shouldn't say pixel when I mean voxel. So, I want x equals 0 and y to be between 1 and 2. And z should be 2. Okay. Or, now let's do the tail. So let's see. I think I see what they mean by using max to create boxes. I can't be bothered to do that right now, sorry. If, let's see, if x is equal to 0 and y, let's see, if y is 1 and z is negative 3, or y equals 2 and z is between... Wait. Oh yeah, no, between -2 and -3. Lower bound first. Okay, so that's the tail. Or let's do that. Now I want the feet. So for the feet, I want abs of x to be equal to 1 and abs of z to be 3 and y to be equal to -3. Okay, so this is all of the stuff that should be light brown, right? 15. No, not 15. This should be 8. Is it 8? Yes, it is 8. And 15 is the rest of the body. Or, okay. Okay. So, the inside of the body, let's see. We can now safely reuse the pixels. We can now safely reuse the pixels that are already light brown, because I've already correctly set them. So, let's see. I'm going to do this in 4 stages. First, I'm going to do the legs, which is y equals -2 and abs of x equals 1 and abs of z equals 3. And then I'm going to do the body, which is x needs to be between -1 and 1. So it's the same as saying that abs of x is less than or equal to 1. And y is between 0 and -1. 0 and -1. And I need z to be greater or equal to, less than or equal to 2. Okay. So the legs are in the wrong place. The front legs. Oh gosh. I got that wrong. Okay, so every time that I said abs of z equals 3, I actually want z to be either 2 or -3. So z equals 2 or z equals -3. Like that. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now we just need the head, which we can do by saying that. Okay, so I want to create like a stairwell, but I'm going to... Yeah, let's do that. So if z plus y is greater than 1, is less than 2, is less than 3, 4, 5, okay, is less than 5, and z is greater than 0, and y is greater than 0. Okay, and then I also need x to be in the range, so basically that. I forgot and. Okay, it's still not accepting this as correct because, there is an ear. Okay, oh, that is annoying. I didn't think of that. I didn't notice that. Okay. So I need either y to be less than 3 or x to be not equal to 0. Okay. That was a lot of if conditions. Putting it together in this kind of bit by bit manner. I wonder if maybe for the next one I want to use some, bitwise and an or just to keep this interesting. Let's see what the next shape looks like and see if I can do something. Okay, so I finished, hang on. Yeah, doggo. I finished doggo. What does this mean here? This is tokens. C, is that execution cycles? I don't know. Let's see, debug output. Does it say anything here about... Oh yeah, it's in scoring, isn't it? There you go. Cycles are based on counting Lua instructions that are executed when running your code. Every instruction is added up and then the total is divided by the number of voxels in the scene. I see. because it's an average, you can sometimes reduce this number by making sure that simple voxels execute less code than complex voxels. Okay. The music just cut out. Whoops, I used Alt-Tab to switch to here. Okay, that is definitely a very fancy hourglass. Okay, much better hourglass. Notes. It can be helpful to visualize values by returning them and looking at them as colors. Adding and subtracting coordinates can make lots of interesting slopes. Yeah, so what I actually want to do here is... So first of all, if I add Z and X, I get this diamond shape, right? So if Z plus X is less than 3, but then let's make abs. Oh, come on. Okay, that should be less than 7 apparently. Okay, but then I need to include the Y coordinate. So if I were to add abs of Y, then that's not gonna work. That's gonna give me a diamond shape in the middle. But just to show you what I'm thinking of here, this is what that would give me. So I need to somehow reverse the Y coordinate, which I can do by subtracting the abs of Y from 6. Bingo. So now I need to color them. Okay, so if abs of Y is equal to 6, then we want the color 16. Yes, 16. Or Y greater 0. Well, if Y is greater than 0, then we want 9. Else we want 14. Okay. So I heard a noise. Oh, I see. It's only the middle pixel that's wrong. So let's just change that to a less than or equal to, greater or equal to. Okay. Now I wonder if I can shorten this by removing these parentheses. No, that does not work. Now let me try and understand why. It's because it now sees that as one single condition and gives 16 for that, which is the top and bottom cap. But then this is the rest of it, which doesn't do this part anymore. So it makes sense that I need to parenthesize that. I'm still thinking about other ways to reduce this. But I think that's basically it. I'm still wondering if, because it kept telling me that the colors are just integers, right? But these integers like 7, 16, and 9 and 14, you know, if it were 1, 2, 3, 4, I could understand that maybe there is some kind of logic here. If that makes sense. Now, I don't know. I just want to get through the game. So let's move on to not a flower. Okay, this is completely symmetric about the z-axis. So we only need... Well, you can use not equal to check values, not equal, yeah. Okay, I know that. Okay. So we want abs of z less than 2. And open parenthesis. So let's see. These are colors 6, 7, and 8. So if abs of x plus abs of y is less than 3, then I want the color to be I suppose I can turn that into a variable. V. Okay, so now V is this. Why is it still only giving me 1? Right, because it's less than 3. Right, I want this. Okay, perfect. So now I need the center to be color 6. So let's add 6 to this. There we go. Okay, now I want to cut it off at 8. So v less than or equal to 8 and v. Bingo. Wait a second. The outer ones are also already the correct colors. I only need to filter out the color 9. Everything else is fine. Yeah, so, v equals 9. No, v is not equal to 9 and v. Why is that not working? Because I mistyped that. There you go. Sean, are you still here? Are you bored yet?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I haven't heard you comment on anything.
No, I'm just letting you, sort through your stuff. Just letting you, talk and stuff.
Alright, so we want the max of Z and X to be equal to 6 here. That is wrong. Yeah, negative X. Okay, so that gives me that wall. Now let's do that window. Okay, so if max of X and Y, by which I mean abs of X and Y, if that maximum is less than or equal to 3, and Z equals 6. No, I'm already checking for it here. So, let's say... Okay, so if that is the case, then we want... If that is the case, then we want 15. But... not if the center, so how do I do these? I need abs of X and abs of Y to be either 1 or 2. Right. So, wait, why do I have an and Z here? I don't need that, do I? Okay. So I want, so I want not in range of the abs X to be between 1 and 2. Why does that not work? I thought the documentation said that I could use the tilde for a Boolean negation. It's in code, isn't it? Comparisons, operators. Here, bitwise not. That doesn't seem to work. I'm telling you, Lua is pretty darn broken. Yeah, that doesn't work either. Let's see if that works. No, not X. Let's call that W for window. Okay, what's the error here? Attempt to perform bitwise operation on a Boolean value. Oh. Bitwise not. I see, it's a bitwise not a Boolean not. So how do you do Boolean not? It doesn't say. So I'm willing to bet that it's literally just the word not, N-O-T. Just letting you know that I've thought of that. I just want the documentation to tell me that, but it looks like it doesn't. So I'm just going to try it then. I can no longer rely on the documentation. I've read everything in the documentation, and I'm already finding things That is not telling
for
me.
not, it seems like it is just the word not.
Yeah, it is. I get that.
Yeah.
I was complaining about the documentation not telling me that. Okay, so I want either abs of x to not be in the range, or wait, I can save one token. Wait, okay, let's first fix this. There you go. That's a y. I can fix one token by putting that not outside of the parenthesis and changing that or to an and. Okay, so that's the window. And then or 1? No. Oh, I see. I should parenthesize this here. Right, and then I want and 15 or 1. No, still not working. So if that is the case... Oh, I see. So if that is the case, then I want another if then else, right? So I definitely need a close parenthesis. Oh, there we go. Oh, wait, shit. Okay. So I'm going to do this. If this is the case... So if we are on the inside of the window, then we want empty. Else. Okay. Whew. I have a feeling that this can be shortened by taking the frame of the window and then cutting out the you know, the slightly bigger square and then putting the horizontal and vertical bar back in. But yeah, you know what? I'm going to try that. I want to try that. So this is the formula for the outer window, right? So if I just change this and say less than or equal to 2, then this is the case. And then I want either that or x times y equals 0. Ah! No, not what I wanted. And x times y not equal to 0. There you go. Oh, wait a second. I can just use modulo here. If modulo 3 equals 0. Let's try that. If x times y modulo 3 is equal to 0, it's not equal to 0. Wow. Okay, not what I wanted. Yeah, I definitely need the range in order to limit it to the size of the window. Obviously. Okay, fine. Let's stick with that then. Alright, now let's do the floor. Now, the floor needs to take precedence. So, I need to check if y equals -6. Then I want to check if x plus z modulo 2 equals 0. Then I want 12 and 14. Or bingo. Now, this is going to be either 0 or 1, right? So I can times that by 2, and it'll be either 0 or 2, and then I can just add the 12. And it still works. Which means that I probably don't need these parentheses. There we go. Okay. Do I need this and empty? Why do I need that? Because... yeah, right, okay. Because I'm specifically cutting it out. So why don't I just put that condition on the main... Ooh, that's why I didn't do that. I need that to be... Oh yeah, I'm stupid. No, I'm not that stupid. Come on. No, I think I'll leave it at this. I don't want to bore you guys with more optimizations, but I thought that was fun. Let's see, where were we? We were here, tiled room. That is the one that I literally just did. Why is it not accepting it? Oh, submit. I need to press submit. Okay, got it. Brick wall. Ooh, no, that's interesting. Let's see. Okay, let's start with the bottom layer. Don't forget about modulo. Yeah, I know, I was going to. So, but for the bottom layer, I think I'm going to try x divided by 3 plus z divided by 3, and take that modulo 2, and then I want that to be colors 12 and 2. So I want to multiply by 10 and then add 2. So that should give me the floor pattern, except that it is off by 1. So I need to subtract. I need to go x plus 1. Okay. Yeah, I think there's a better way of writing this. What if I just say x modulo 6 is less than 3? I still need to shift it by 1. That's annoying because it requires parentheses, and the parentheses count as tokens. And of course, if I use in range on the modulo function, that is also going to use tokens. Okay, so I'm gonna stick with this. So that is the floor pattern, and I want that to be on y equal -7. Or, so, now we want abs of z to be less than 2. And, so we want either 7 or 3. Right, so let's do 7 first. So we want something that is 7 or 3. Right, it's probably the other way around. So I want something that gives me that shape. So let's see. Y equals 1 or y equals -2. Interesting. Is it -3? Oh god. It's a bit hard to tell because these dots don't line up with the cubes properly. Okay, so it's -3 and +1. Okay. Oh, and it only needs to it must only go up to +4. So I need that and y less than 5. Okay. Now I need so if we're in this range between -3 and +1, then I need... There must be a formula for this. So first of all, this surely is the same as saying that y modulo 3 equals 1, right? Let's see if that still works. So it's actually modulo 4. Okay. Good, 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 good. Now I want the x coordinate. I'm trying to combine the x and the y coordinate in a way that allows me to check if I'm in the middle band without having to use in range or something similar, but I think I'm gonna use in range. So if y is in the range -3 to 1, then I want x modulo... It's gonna be 8, isn't it? Okay, why am I getting just those 2 pixels? It's because I'm combining it with this. That should be an OR. Okay, perfect. Not perfect. So this needs to be a 4. So I need that to be the case only if it is in range. So why am I seeing this black line in the middle? Also, I think I want and 3 here. So why am I seeing this black line in the middle? Do you know, Sean? Ah, of course.
Okay.
Okay, so either this is the case, or this is the case, then... Huh, why am I not getting what I want? So this is just the extent of the wall, so this entire parenthesis is our problem, right? So let's do this for now and return just that. And let's also not return the colors. Okay, so this is happening. Ah. No. Why would that be the case? Right, that's because... No, it's not. So if y is in range -3, 1, right? So this range here, then it should be checking this condition, if x modulo 8 is equal to 4. And it should be doing this only if it's outside that range. So that seems to suggest that this and or syntax is not actually doing the same as question mark colon, right? Because it's clearly doing all of this and then ORing it with this. So if I do this and say and 3 or 7, and then and 3 or 7. Ah! Okay, there you go. Now I've got the black ones in the right place. Okay. So, I want to replace all of this with this. And it's still wrong. So let's think. So this is the wall. Okay. If this is the case, or this is the case. Okay, so what really annoys me here, right, is that the bottom of this here says that Lua doesn't have a built-in ternary operator, but you can emulate one due to the way it evaluates conditions. And then it says you can just turn this into that. But actually you can't, not if this one here can be false. So, I'm going to use an if. So let's see, we're on the wall. Right, if this is the case, then we are on the wall if that is the case. Else, we are on the wall if that is the case, end. Right, and then the condition that we want here is W. And then we want the 3 or 7 to be outside of here. Okay, there is an error. Let's see, end expected in line 3. Okay, I'm confusing myself a lot here. So we know that this is correct. So we want that, or we're in the wall and... Oh yeah, close parenthesis too. Okay, right, so we want that. Ah, finally, Jesus Christ. Okay, so just to confirm that I cannot write this as a conditional. And that, or that. See, that is not the same thing. Sean, do you see that? Okay, you're not here anymore, huh?
No, I'm still here.
But you're not really watching, are you? which is fine, but you know, I'm sometimes trying to talk to you and and let's see. Okay, so here we want the inside of the cube to be empty. So we need... So first of all, we need the inside to be empty. So we need max of x, y, z to be equal to 2. Except abs. No, that's nonsense. I need to abs each of them individually. So abs of x, abs of y, abs of z. Okay, so that gives me the inside of the cube. Right. And so let's see. So how do I determine if I'm on the outside, on the edge of the cube? I want... stop wiggling here. I know that there are emails. Just click on that. There you go. What's the easiest way? I think the easiest way might actually be to simulate a cylinder. You know what? I'm going to try that. What happens if I return x squared plus z squared is less than 7. Bingo. Okay. And then I need to cut away a cylinder in this direction, so x and y. Like this. Okay, and then I need a y and z. Bingo. Okay. So all of that needs to be black. Right? So it's all of that and something or black. And let's make it 1 for now. Okay, there we go. Alright, and now I need to hollow it out. Which I did by saying... max of abs x, abs y, abs z equals 2. If that is the case, then I want empty, else open parentheses. Close parentheses. So why is that not working? Ah, I see. Less than 2. Okay, there you go. So I don't think I need this and empty or. I just need that. So. Okay, so we have that. And now we need to look at the... Okay, so if x is equal to 2, then we want color 11. Or... I wonder if I can just stack these and just say if x equals -2, then I want 14. Apparently that works. Or so if y is equal to 2, then we want 1. I'm a bit confused by this red, green, blue display, but I guess I'll just use the number in the black at the end. So that's a 1, and that is a 9. And then we want z. If z is equal to 2, which is this one here, then we want 8 else 7. Bingo. Sean, do you think that this is the most efficient way? No, it's not.
I wouldn't say so.
No, it's because this already hollows out the inside. Oh wait, no, I do need this formula here to make the edges. If I leave that out, then then these colors will leak into the edges. Yep, I'm gonna keep it like that. I wonder... I wonder... Yeah, no. Okay, I was wondering if I could reduce the token count by combining these into... But no, I need to check... Hang on, if x is equal to 2... Yeah, I really have to make sure that this condition will only apply if x is on the extremes, because otherwise it will color the rest of the cube as well. Yeah, okay, well, I'm gonna submit that. Cute computer. That is definitely cute for some definitions of cute. Okay, so let's see. Return max of... So we want y and z to be equal to... So that should actually be negative, right? Which is the same as saying min. Okay, so then we need to move that over. Whoops. Right, and then say greater than 1. No, let's say less than or equal to 1. Okay, that's just 1 token, so it's fine. Plus 5 plus 3. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so if that is the case, then we want 5 or open parenthesis. Now, oh, that's not actually true. We need the front screen to have information on it. Okay. So, let's see, if z equals -2 and or yeah, I don't think we need, don't think we need that parenthesis. Or do we? Gosh, this question mark colon would be so much easier if it were actual question mark colon, because then it wouldn't interfere with the Boolean ands and ors that we're doing to make the Boolean conditions work, right? Okay, so if z equals -2 and let's see, x needs to be between -3 and 3, so abs x less than or equal to 3. I think I want to put that in the clipboard and then just deal with this. Okay, so we actually want 12 for that, and we want y to be in the range -1 to 3. Okay, so that's where the screen is. But now, if abs of x equals 3 and in range y 0, 2, then I want 1. Okay, and now we just need that one more pixel. So, let's say here we want something and 1 or 12, and that something is that x equals -1 and y equals 2. Okay. So, that's that. So now we want or open parenthesis. 5. Okay. Whoops. I meant to do this. Right, and then I need that block there. Or, let's see, if y equals -3, then 13. That's not 13, it's 14. So I need x to be less than or equal to 3, and I need z to be in the range 0 to 3. There you go. I said earlier that I was going to do something with bitwise manipulation, and maybe I should do that now, because now is the start of a new section, right? So why don't we do that? So this is completely symmetric about the x-axis. So I can just use abs of x to index into a binary number. Okay. Or in fact not binary, but okay, does Lua actually have an exponentiation function? Aha, the hat. Okay. So this here says that print statements happen here. So 2 to the 8 gives me 256. Okay, that is good. That is what I wanted. So I'm going to make this a little more interesting now. I'm still going to use a range to see if I'm inside of the penguin, right? So I'm going to say that so instead of saying that abs of x is less than 3, which is what I would normally do in order to make that, I'm actually going to say if x plus 1 is greater than -3, -2. What am I thinking? I'm not thinking straight. I do actually need this. Okay, I will stick with that then. So as far as the x-coordinate... No, hang on. This is actually not that easy. Because it's 3-dimensional, what would I expect, right? How does it actually score, like, integers? Ah, I see. The magnitude of a number determines its token count. Okay, so you can't, you know, if this were just a single token, then you could hide a lot of information in a single number. Which is what I'm trying to do right now. Okay, but that's going to cost a lot of tokens, so they are explicitly discouraging that. That is unfortunate. Okay. So is there anything... Yeah, no, I think this might not be a good candidate for what I was going to do, so I'm going to do this the same way that I did the others. So first of all, let's draw the the nose. So let's say if x equals 0 and y equals 0 and z equals 2, then we want 9. Else. Alright. Okay, now let's do the black pixels. There are only 2 black pixels, in which abs of x is equal to 1 and z is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1. Whoops. Which, isn't that the same as saying that y times z is equal to 1? Because, oh right, that's negative 1 times negative 1 also gives you 1. I forgot about that. Okay. So, let's keep it easy. So in that case, we want black. Okay, or now I want the white block. Now the white block occurs if x is in the range -1 to 1, which is the same as saying abs of x is less than or equal to 1. The y coordinate is between 2 and -2. And z is literally 1. So then we want 1. Now I wonder if I need the and 1, because a boolean true already counts as... okay, so if I make all the rest 16, let me just see if the white and black pixels, yeah, they are still correct. Right, so I don't need to say and 1 when 1 is the color that I want. Okay, so now we want 16 only if yeah, let's do the whole cube. So I want in range of z being from -1 to 2, and I want the y coordinate to not matter, and I want the x coordinate to be between -2 and 2. Right? And now we need to cut away the front thing here. So if z is equal to 2 and not z equals 2 and y greater or equal to -2. Okay, why is that wrong? Right, we either need z equal to 2 or y to be... What am I doing? Okay, z equal to 2 and y... Oh, why am I saying y? No, it is y. And it should be greater or equal to -2. God damn it, that was dumb. Okay, and now I need to cut away that bottom line. And not. X equals 0 and... Whoops, equals 0. And y equals -3. So, why is that not correct? Let's see if I can determine that with... Oh, the white goes one area in. Okay, so this is the white. So instead of z equals 1, I want z is 1 or 0. So abs of z is less than or equal to 1. No, what? No, why am I doing that? No, let's use in range. Otherwise I'll be confusing myself too much. Okay, that seems to have worked. What happens if I click this tiny little arrow? Okay, I can just make that small. Cool. Tic-tac-toe. Is that ripe for a bitwise? Nah, it's not. Okay, it's X's turn, lol. So, first of all, if x modulo 4 equals 0, then we're off by 2. So 2. Yep. Or y modulo 4 equals 2. Then we have that. And then at the very end, we're going to say that z needs to be equal to 0. So I should just say z equals 0 and open parenthesis the whole thing. Let's see. Or, okay, let's see. So if x is greater than 2, if x is greater than 2, then I want this pattern here, which should only happen if abs of y is not, so it needs to be greater or equal to 2 or 3. So if that is the case, well, for now let's do green and remove the or. Okay, so that needs to be greater or equal to 3. So I want that to be x plus y modulo 2 equals 0 equals 1. Okay, so that's the greens. Or, so let's see, now if abs of x is less than or equal to 1 and abs of y is less than or equal to 1, and x plus y modulo 2 equals 0. Why is it not working? Right, there we go. Okay, so we need that to be red. So, and I'm just gonna say red, because it's one token, isn't it? So that seems to have worked. Submit. Orange creamsicle. Don't forget that you can drag the axis line arrows with them. Oh, I see. Peek inside the object. Okay. Ooh, there is actually white stuff in there. And ooh. Okay. So let's do the peach colored stem first. So if x equals 0 and z equals 0 and y is less than or equal to -1, then we want peach, or open parenthesis. Then the white thing, so for the white thing we need the y coordinate to start at -2 and it needs to stop here, which is 3, I assume. So in those cases we want 1, which we don't need to say. And let me just make the rest black just to see what I've done. Okay. I think this is correct. The white starts at the right place and it does not end at the right place. So I think this needs to be -1. Bingo. Okay, this is correct. So if that is the case and let's see, abs of x is less than or equal to 2. And z. Yeah, so now let's get rid of the 3 here. Okay, so that should be... that is wrong. Of course, we want the white to be 1, 6. So these are actually the conditions for the orange part. So, or so let's say and white, or open parenthesis, and then this we want 8. Okay, so we need the x-coordinate for the white to be 1 and z equal to 0. So, what did I do differently? Okay, let's see. I think the white is correct, and the peach also. I only need to restrict the orange to y-coordinate -2 to +4. Okay, now show me the differences. Oh. Wait, what? Okay. So what did I do wrong here? Let's see. This is correct. This is also correct. This is no longer pink. The pink needs to go up 2 further. So, the peach rather. So I need that to be less than or equal to 1. Oh. Right, my peach is going too far, so it should be -1. I confused which one was the one I needed to do and the one which one I did. Okay, building. Oh, that looks a little bit like a TARDIS, I guess. Okay. So let's start by doing the orange. No, let's start by doing the pattern where the pattern between the orange and the blue. Right? So I want the cross line. Okay, so I want either x plus z, x equal to z, or x equal to -z. Then I want, I don't need parentheses for that. Then I want, what is that dark blue? Is it 12? Yes, that is 12, and that is 9. Okay. So far, so good. Now, I want that to occur only at odd y coordinates. So, yeah, it's literally just that, isn't it? Just this y modulo 2 equals 1 equals 0. Oh, and. Okay. So, I need to negate this. I need to do a condition on what is yellow. In other words, 9. So I want that to be a 9 and that to be a 12. And then I need that to be 0. And I need that to be not equal to z and not equal to -z. Okay. Okay, so the pattern is correct, but this needs to be 1. Okay. So far, so good. Now, I need to restrict it to the size of the building, which is -2 plus 2 in x and z. Okay, so... so we need x to be a 2 and z to be less or equal to 2. And open parenthesis. And then all of that. Close parenthesis. Okay. So I don't think I need these parentheses. Perfect. So the next thing I need to do is to create the spire. Right, I need to cut it off at this sort of diamond shape. So let me comment this out for now. And let me remind myself what that diamond shape was like. I wanted x plus y plus z less than 5 or something. It's abs, isn't it? Okay, less than 6. No, less than 5 was correct. Okay. So if y is 2 or greater. Oh, wait a second. No. I don't want that kind of shape. I want... Oh, Jesus. What 2 coordinates do I need? I need x and z, don't I? No. Oh, of course. I want that to be less than y. Okay, other way around. 4 minus y. 5 minus y. Okay, perfect. It looks funky. Okay, so if y is 2 or more, then I want this. Okay, so if y greater or equal to 2, then... Okay, I'm trying to figure out if I can save the... if I can not have to reuse the color code, but I think I'm just gonna reuse the color code. So if that is the case, then I want 12. Else, this. Okay, so now we run into that same problem as before, which is that this is not the same as question mark colon. So I think I have to put, if I do this, right, then it'll correctly fill the top parts with white that should be empty. You see that? So that's actually working, but as soon as I say empty, oh, that's actually working. I did not expect... Okay, so what is the issue? Okay, there's a lot of issues here. Okay, I didn't do this correctly, did I? So this is not actually the condition that I want. So what I actually want is, let's see, abs of x plus abs of z is, so that's 0 in the center and then it grows outwards. What I actually want is I want max of those two. Bingo. Right, and I want that to be less than y. 4 minus y. 5 minus y. There you go. So this is the correct condition. Bingo. Alright, can't you just say -3 less than z less than 2? Let's see if we can. No. The answer is no. So this is a syntax error, right? If I do this, then this is 8 tokens. And if I write this, then it's also 8 tokens. So it doesn't matter which one I use, but this one is more versatile because if I'm inside an OR condition, then this would need parentheses. Actually, it wouldn't. But whatever, it doesn't save any tokens, is what I'm getting here. So, there you go, we've done that, submit that, and go to Taco. That's a shame, yes, indeed it is. Now, I did get a Discord ping. I don't know if the Discord ping came through the stream. I hope it didn't. But I'm just very quickly going to check if it was something important. It is not. Oh. Since Brawlbox is here in the chat, Brawlbox, I noticed that you pinged for a board game. But that was an hour ago, so I assume that we're not doing that. Oh, in fact, that was even... No, it was not before I started streaming. Never mind. So, next one. Food again, surprise, surprise. Notes, modulo is your friend for infrequently repeating patterns. Alright, well. Let's see, I want to... Okay, so let's start by doing these red pellets here. In fact, no, I'm going to do the shell first, or the... Now I'm going to have to restrict all of it to the y coordinate anyway, so it doesn't actually... Yeah, so I'm going to do the layers first. So let's do this color 16 here. So if z is in range -1, 1, then we want 16. And then we want y to be in the range -2 to 1. Yeah. Okay, so that's the brown part. But there's way too much of it. It's actually -2, -1. Okay, or open parenthesis. So this is all the same color, isn't it? This is all 16. The next layer up is all 8. So I'm going to say in here, if y equals 0, then we want 8, else 16, and then we need this to go all the way up to 0. Empty for now. Okay, that seems to have worked. Okay, and then the next layer here. So I'm going to do 0 to 1, and I'm going to say if y equals 0, then it's 8, or open parenthesis. If y equals 1, then I want another condition, and that condition is x plus z modulo 2 plus 10. Bingo. I think that's correct. So we've got our 3 layers, and then let's now put the shell around it, shall we? I'm going to put the shell around it. So if z is in range -2, 2, which is the same as saying abs of z is less than 2, less than or equal to 2. And y goes from -3 to 2. Yeah, no, this is going to put a layer on top. So I think I'm just gonna go to 0, and then I'm going to do the curvy walls later. So if that is the case, then I want 9. Okay, so far so good. Now, for the next 2 layers, so if y is between 0 and +2, then I want something of a diamond shape. So if y is between 0 and 2, and x plus y, abs of x plus abs of y is less than 5, is less than 6. Yeah, 6. And then I need abs of z to be equal to 2. There we go. Then we want that to be 9. Why is there an error? Line 4. Yeah, great.
I think you got too many parentheses. Or not enough.
Okay, let's see. So this is a condition. That parenthesis goes here, that goes here, and that goes here, yes. Or. So this is the first condition. No. Oh, I see. This is actually the first condition, and this is the first color, which contains conditions inside of it.
Because the bracket you just ordered at the end is empty.
Oh. Thank you. Duh. Okay, so that was correct. Okay, so now we just need those, whatever they are, tomatoes? I don't know. So I want a... Can I do like sine? Can I put a sine wave there? So if sine of x is about z, so if abs of sine x minus z is less than 1, okay, is less than 0.5, less than 0.4. This is actually kind of weird that this works. Holy shit! That okay, kind of. So I need to slightly squeeze it a little bit. Ah! And then one of the pixels disappears. Ah, that is so annoying because it's finicky. Yeah, no, this is not gonna work. That was a good idea though, you gotta admit. That was a fun idea. Okay, let's not use the sine wave. So what I want is for the so if I go x equals z, then it's a diagonal, right? So if I say x equals z, then 7. Except that I want... Huh. I'm confused. Oh, because I typed the wrong letter. Jesus, why would I do that? There we go. So, that is that. If I multiply z by 2, then I get this. Right, so I want to negate this, and now it's like this. But now I need to modulo that. I need to modulo the x value by 3. Right? Modulo 3. Yeah, except not quite. So let me think. So here, x is 0. You see what I'm trying to do, right? Oh, right, can't I just modulo this by 6? Or 3? No, of course not. Yeah, I need to modulo the x value. I'm not quite sure why modulo 3 didn't work. But let's just see modulo 4, modulo 5, modulo 6. Okay, modulo 5 looks similar to what I want, but it's offset. But no, why would it be 5? It's not... No. It should be 3! Why isn't it 3? Help me out here, Sean. So I'm going 2 times z, right? Which means that in this row we have -2, in this row we have 0, and in this row we have 2. Right, this is what I should do. Right, 2, 4, 6, right. I need to take the x-coordinate modulo 6, and then I need to add 2 times z to that and see if that's equal to 0. Okay, perfect. Not. What did I want? So what I actually want, right? Let me see if I can...
Wait, I think you almost have it.
Yeah, I know I almost have it. Have you not been watching?
Have you just limit where the red dots go?
I could, yes, but what I'm...
right there.
Yeah, I could. But what I'm actually trying to do is I'm trying to create something like a sawtooth wave. So kind of like this, right? Except, how do I erase this? Right, except that if I did that, then I would get a pixel up here. So I want it to be like halfway between this pixel, you see? So I want something like this. So how do I model such a wave? It doesn't have to have the vertical line, obviously, right? So x equals 2 times z gives me this line. But then how do I clamp it like this? The way I do that so what I do want is I want so this line here is basically the graph x over 2. Oh, that's it. Okay. So here's what I want. So if I do x over 2 equals z, right? Then I get this. I need that to be exactly equal. There you go. So I want that, but then I want z to be flipped. Now I need to plus 1 this, and then modulo 2, and then minus 1 again. Now, why is that not working? Wow, that is really hard. Okay, so we have our x over 2. This is almost what we want, right? If I take that modulo 2, it will look like this because x, yeah, it'll always just be 0 or 1. So actually, I actually want modulo 3. There we go. So now, if I add 1, add 2, add 3. Okay, add 3 will... Okay. Bingo! This is what I was looking for. Okay, and now I need to give it the right color, which is 7. Okay, now why is it wrong? God damn it. Show comparison. Oh! Oh! Okay. That should be easy to fix. I just want y to be equal to 2. Finally. Okay, so I tried really hard to make this sort of sprinkle thing, right? What was your suggestion again? Do you remember?
Couldn't tell if you were talking to me. All I was saying was just putting a limit on where those dots would be placed at.
Oh yeah, that's right. You wanted me to use an in range. I suppose I could have done that. I don't actually know. Okay, so this is 105, right? Let's see what that would be like. So what was my formula again that I had? God damn, no, I don't remember. It was x modulo 6 equals z. Equals 2 times z. Like that. Ooh. Oh, this is a different formula that also works. I want, do I want this? Z plus 1. 2 times, minus 1. Minus 2? Okay, there we go. So now I just need to shift that. So first of all, I want to negate this. So I want negative that plus 2. Okay, so that needs to be minus 4 then. No, minus 3. Also no. Ah! Why is this so hard? I just want to shift it over. Okay, so we had this. I want to negate the x, so why don't I just do, negative x? And then I want to shift it down 1. So minus 1, minus 2, minus 2. And then I want to shift it left by 2, so plus 2 here. Okay. Right, and then I would still need to add this for that to work. And that code is 105, and this code is 105. It's exactly the same length. Yeah, it's exactly the same length. Okay, well, it's not what I was trying earlier, but I don't remember what I was trying earlier, so I'm just gonna submit that. Alright, camera. So, I'm going to finish this section, and then I think that might be enough for today. So, we've done a sort of cylinder like this before to cut out the edge of the cube, if you remember. So, I think I'm going to do that again, but I'm going to draw the body of the camera first, because I suspect that that is all gray. It is indeed. So, let's see. Return, if Z is in this range, stop blinking up there. I don't care, go away. So if Z is in that range and, so either Y is less than 3 or X is 0, 1, or 2. Yeah, there you go. Then we want color 2, else. Okay, now let's put the shutter there. So if x equals 2, x equals negative 2, and z equals 0 and y equals 3, then we want 7. Why is that not work? Oh, because there. Okay. Right, now I want that cylinder. So I want x squared plus y squared, except that we need to move y down by 1. So it's y plus 1 squared. Right, so if that is less than 3, less than 4, 5, ooh. Okay, there we go. Less than 6 does it. Okay, so if it is in fact less than 3, then we're on the inside. And if it's less than 6, then we want the black. And if it's greater than 6, then we want nothing. So I think I'm just going to put that in a variable, call it the radius. Right, so if r is less than if r is less than 3, then we want 1, which we don't need to specify. If r less than 6, then we want 3. Close parenthesis. And now it shines to the back here, so we want z greater than 0. Bingo. Cool. Alright, how many more are left? Just one more. Okay. What time is it even? I've been streaming for 2.5 hours already. So I'm actually not, I can't hold it against you if you're starting to get bored. Because this is quite repetitive, right? It continues being like basically the same thing. I'm constantly just doing abs and max and in range and plus minus times. In terms as far as programming goes, this game is not very varied. Okay, so let's start by creating the screen. Yeah, I'm gonna create the screen. So I need X to be in the range. I hate that you can't really see the axis in front of the cubes. Like, it's not aligned properly. So we want to go from negative 2 to 2. Min can be used to make cross shapes like the D-pad. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I don't think I need that. I think I can do that with a faux circle. Okay, so if abs of x is less than 3. And y is in the range 1 to 4. And z equals 0. Then we want the color 11. Or. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the hole in front of, because then I can make the Game Boy a whole big, block. So I'm going to first define that this part here is empty, which is the same as this. So this is the screen, so let's give that a name. So if we're in the screen and z equals 1, then we want empty. Okay. Why is that giving me white? I specifically said empty. Oh, I see. Right, okay, good. So, the next thing I want is the gray parts. So I think I'm actually going to I'm gonna do this twice. So that here I can say less than 4. And then I'm going to say abs of x equals 4. Then we want 2, else empty. Why is that not showing up? Equals 3, that's why. Okay, so there's that. Now let's do the main block of the Game Boy. All the buttons are in front of it, so that's good. So, if x is here, and wait, that needs to be a 5, doesn't it? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it needs to be less than 5. And let's see. Okay, so obviously z less than 2. Ooh, the screen is not going up enough. I need this to be a 5 then, don't I? Bingo. Okay, so all of this is good. So now we need to cut off that little corner down here. So I need to say and x plus y is greater than 3. Show me that. X minus y is less than 6, 7, 8, 9. Bingo. Okay, and now I just need to do the D-pad and the 2 buttons. Or. Okay, so I'm going to do my circle formula, except that this time I want it centered on x to be minus 2, so I need x plus 2 squared plus, and the same for y. I want that to be less than 2. And I want z to be equal to 2. Right, then we want 3. Okay, that's our D-pad. And now the 2 buttons. So I want either x equals 1 and y equals negative 3, or x equals 3 and y equals negative 2. So I want all of this and z equals 2, which, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to remove this and see if I can apply this to both of those at the same time. I'll do that in a sec. So I want all of that and 7. This is 7, right? Yes, it is 7. Okay. So now, here, I'm going to say, I'm going to say z equals 2. Come on, give me that. Z equals 2 and. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay. So instead of this, where did I go wrong? Oh, this actually works. Oh, equals. I'm so dumb sometimes. Okay, so that didn't work. That only applied to... Oh, of course. I want that to apply here. Bingo. Alright. Alright, so I said that I would stop here, but I suppose I can take a look at one more, like, you know, ooh, okay, it says sports. Oh, okay, we're gonna be doing balls. Oh, that's not a ball. So Sean, how are you feeling?
It looks more like a toaster than a football.
Yeah. Okay, let's mark these as red. So how are you feeling? Do you want to continue or shall we stop here?
If anything, I could stop here, and I mean that looks pretty easy to do, though.
Yeah, it does. I kind of want to see if one of these is an actual ball. Yeah, that's not a ball. Let's see, billiards table. That's actually, that looks fun. So is there an easy way to get back to the emails? Okay, there we go. 8 ball. Okay, there we go. Doubles as a fortune-telling device, haha. Okay, I'm going to try this one just for fun because I want x squared plus y squared plus z squared to be less than some value. Such as, so I want it less than 7 squared, so 49. So apparently a bit more.
64.
64, you say? I suspect that is a little too big. Oh. Okay. I think that might actually be the right size. Well done. Let's make it black and see. And 3 or empty. Comparison. Wow. That is completely correct. Okay. So I don't always want it to be 3. I want, let's see, if y equals 7 and some other condition. If y equals 7 and either abs of x is equal to 3. Oh, right, then I want 1. There you go. So either abs of x is equal to 3, or abs of z is greater than 1, or z equals 0 and x and abs of x equals 1. Equals. I keep doing that wrong. There you go. So that was actually, that was very cool. So I wonder how many people playing this game did this without the formula for a sphere. Wait a second. Abs of x equals 3 does the top and the bottom, right? I think it would be easier to just draw the blacks. So I think I'm going to reverse this. Okay, so now this is white. So, and not. Okay, so I want something that gives me the black, which is, let's see, so first of all, abs of x needs to be less than or equal to 2, which is less than 3. And I'm gonna end up with the same thing that I had before. So I think I'm just gonna keep this. Okay, submit that. So, thank you all for watching. That was good fun. I'm not gonna do all of these. But, oh, this is the one that was shown on the Steam page as an example.
Yeah.
Did you notice that when you rotate this, it rotates the light source with it? I think it might be helpful if the light source were static and the shadow would, you know, so that the shadow doesn't always obscure the same part of the picture. I'm not saying that it's super hard, that you can't see anything here. I'm not saying that, but, you know, it just would look funner. It would look more fun if the shadow moved. It would look less static, let's put it that way. Right. Anyway, okay, so thank you all for watching. I'm gonna shut down here, and I will see you again some other time when I try to play another game, or maybe I will continue with this game, who knows. But for now, I think a 2-hour stream is enough. Goodbye.